Yeah, it's just a huge change for you guys because so far you've been dealing with HTML and CSS, and they have their own rules, their own syntax, and now it's like totally new topic, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, I know. So hopefully today's class will be a little bit helpful. I've prepared some fun functions. At least I think they're fun. So hopefully that will clear some things up for you. And you guys had like a little interview, right? I think with one of the instructors.
With Tahir, we had the interview on HTML and CSS.
Nice. How did that go?
It was a good, yeah, it was a good experience.
Good. Yeah, that's did you get really anxious about it?
No, actually, I thought it would be like more like informal, but then it turned out to be like real interview, like real mock interview.
I know. Yeah. So, yeah, and because this is like first round of interviews for you guys, it can be a little nerve-wracking, and also like your performance on a mock interview doesn't reflect your actual knowledge or abilities, because you get nervous and you're not able to, think clearly, and things that you know so well can just turn out to be like really difficult, um, during the interview. Just because you're a little nervous, it's a little like hard to pull yourself together.
Mm-hmm.
So if any of you like are anxious about how your interview went, yeah, just don't think about it. Like it's more like a stress test, you guys, more like a practice for your actual interviews. So we just want you to sort of get used to this format of, Q&A, because most of the interviews will have something like that.
Mm-hmm.
At least some part of the interview will be Q&A, verbally usually. So yeah, you just need to, be mentally prepared for it, because we want you to be, um, to be able to resist that kind of pressure, that kind of stress, so you can really show your best result when it comes to like real job interviews. So
Yeah.
that's how we do it. And not because we are mean, sadistic people, but maybe a little bit for that reason too.
No, I think it's a great idea, and it's yeah, it's very important to start from the very beginning, so
Mhm.
we gradually get used to answering the questions. It turned out that not only we need to show it in practice, but we also need to be able to talk about it.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's yeah, sometimes when you're working on a project, you can implement the required like changes or whatever it is required in the project. But when it comes to explaining them,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes it can be difficult.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
that's true. Yeah.
yeah, and communication is a huge part of getting a job, being able to communicate your thoughts effectively. And
Mm-hmm.
it's something that I struggle with all the time. So yeah, just, something that you guys need to prepare for. That's why probably at the end of each large section, we will have some kind of mock interview
Mm-hmm.
for like one class or maybe two classes sometimes, but mostly it's just one class. Was it just 3 hours or was it 2 days?
It was just 3 hours, and each of us got like two or three questions.
Hmm.
The only thing I would change a little bit, maybe it would be a better idea to split into groups so we can work in like smaller groups and ask each other more questions, not
Mhm.
just two or three, but like five, six. I don't know.
Yeah,
Because
that would be nice. Usually, well, at the end of the cohort, you guys will have a lot of mock interviews, And usually during those, I think, because we invite multiple people, so they may split you into like smaller groups and interview you. So like 2, 3 people will be interviewed at the same time, just in different breakout rooms, and your classmates can join whatever room they want
Mm-hmm.
observe. So usually that's something that happens. So hopefully, but your group is like, how many people? Is it like 15?
16, I think.
Yeah. Yeah, so usually we did that when we had like over 20 people. I don't know what the plan is uh, for your group. We'll see. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, for JavaScript, especially for JavaScript, because it's so important and it's a huge topic. So we will probably try to do more interviews. Maybe I will do some interviews during the extra hour as well. So we'll see. We'll split it somehow so more people can have that experience and um, to just grill you a little bit more, not like
Mm-hmm.
questions. Yeah, I think for the first round for CSS part, maybe it's fine because it's just a lot, and you guys are going through a lot. I know that it's very stressful. So I guess it's fine for CSS. For JavaScript, it's going to be a little more in depth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah,
Okay.
let's talk about that closer to the end of the JavaScript section, which is really far from now. So yeah, just remind me of that and we'll figure something out. Okay?
Okay. Yes. Thank you, Asel.
No problem. Lavinia, welcome. Good to see you.
Hello, thank
Hi
you. Thank you so
there.
much.
Have you guys met Lavinia?
I joined last night of a little bit for the first time because I'm trying. I mean, for some reason, I don't want to give up, and things are going better for me now. A lot more time. So I'm trying again.
That's nice. Yeah, I'm really happy to see you here. And I'm really happy that your circumstances right now like allow you to set some time apart for studying. So that's good. And yeah, it takes a lot of character to push as hard as you are doing. So I really admire your character. So great job. And please, everyone, make Lavinia feel welcomed. Lavinia, which cohort you joined last time? Which one was it?
The one in June, I think.
The one that graduated in June?
The one that graduated in October.
Oh, okay, cool. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so great that you're joining, and we have a great team. Mario and Manier. We also have Azamat. There's a new instructor here. I'm only joining on Saturdays because I'm just swamped during the week. But yeah, I'm so glad that you're here. It's
Thank you.
it's great to have you. Welcome.
Thank you so much. And it's nice to meet everyone.
Yeah, you guys make Lavinia feel welcome, okay? All right. So I have prepared some questions so you guys can practice writing functions. And today we're gonna do a little bit of a different format. So with JavaScript, it's very important for you guys to be very comfortable with syntax, okay? Especially it's your first week of JavaScript. So let's try to do something different. So I want you guys to, everyone open a REPL. You guys used REPL, right? In one of the classes already. Usually we use it for function classes. Does everyone have account on REPL? All right, Janar, do you have account on REPL?
I did not. I'm creating now.
Okay. Yeah, please, everyone, I'm gonna give you a couple of minutes. It doesn't take a long time. Register on REPL and we will do some exercises there. And you guys will share your screen and you will be solving questions while sharing the screen. So that will be our format for today. Sometimes we will do that in our JavaScript classes because it's so important for you guys to familiarize yourself with syntax, with writing functions, with passing parameters, calling functions. That can be a little tricky in like first couple of weeks. So we want to make sure that you guys practice that a lot. So let's do that. And Janar, you'll go first, okay?
What am I doing?
So
Sorry.
once you register, just let me know and I'll have you share your screen.
Oh, please.
It has to happen at some point.
Uh,
So how about Aizada, how are you?
Yeah, I'm good. Thank you.
Good.
You want me to share my screen?
Yeah, so Janar will go first and then you then. Do you have
Okay.
a account on Rappel?
Yeah, I do.
Cool. Very nice. Let's see who else we have here. Argan, are you there?
Hi, yes, I'm here, but I'm joining
Hi
through my
there.
phone, using my phone.
Really, that's too bad.
Sorry.
I don't
Next
know
week I'll
if
try to join. Yeah,
Okay. I don't know if I can forgive you. Ask me next week, okay, if I have forgiven you for that or not.
sorry.
Okay. Rustam, are you also joining with your phone? Because it literally says Rustam's iPhone. Okay, let me stop sharing. Okay, Janar, good job. Okay, and then Lavinia, maybe you will go. Although it may be a little too easy for you, right? Is it gonna be too easy? They just had like introduction to functions.
I can go. It's okay. I can practice.
Okay, good. Okay. Janar, you are our first victim today. Could you open your console as well?
how do I do?
Let's see. One sec. Let me get remote control. It should be somewhere on like right-hand side.
Oh, okay.
Hold on. Oh, no, you don't need to. Oh, okay. So let's go back.
Mhm.
Let's create a new repo. And you don't need HTML, CSS. Let's just do Node.js because we're only dealing with JavaScript today.
Oh, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
So here's your console and here's sort of like your VS Code thingy. Okay. So let's see. First off, how would you define a function, Janar?
Function is it is like a recipe for the so we it basically takes the parameters that we give and then it does something depending upon what code we write in the function, and then we can call it and it comes out to our console. In my own words.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good. So why do you think we need functions? Like, what's the point of writing functions?
It helps us not to write the same code over and over again, so we can
Yes.
reuse it for different objects.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, there's your answer. Good. So a function is a reusable code, right?
Mhm.
And which is like a set of instructions in order to, produce some kind of output, right?
Yes.
And functions are actually very useful because just like when we were dealing with HTML and CSS projects, the one rule that we should always follow is do not repeat yourself, right? So
Mhm.
imagine you're working on Google, and let's say you work in that team that deals with Gmail, right?
Mhm.
So when you have millions of users logging in, you don't want to produce like each time, you don't want to generate a new piece of code that would greet your user, right?
Mhm.
You want to have one function that will accept user's name or or username, I don't know, something as a parameter, and that it will produce a piece of code that will greet that user, right?
Mhm. Yep.
So you don't want to like every time for millions of users, you don't want to have a separate block of code that will greet them.
Mhm.
Or let's say how on YouTube, when you have watched the video, it kind of like indicates that you watched it,
Uh-huh.
right?
Yeah.
So how are you supposed to like keep track of all of those, right? So a function before showing you that little snippet of the video, a function will check with database whether you have watched that video or not. So
Mhm.
it mark it as something that you've already watched, right? Or for example, every time you're logging in and logging out, right? There is a function that will show you a different UI, whether depending on that condition. So if you're logged in, it will show you your Gmail account, for example, with all of your incoming mail and stuff, right? But if you're not logged in, you will see a different kind of UI, which will ask you to do the logging in part, right? So like every time your page is rendered, there is a function that is checking, is the user logged in? So if the user logged in, they will show you a different UI. And if the user is not logged in, they will show you a different UI, right?
Mhm.
So functions are really, really important. They're like factory workers in a factory. So like nothing will get done without those little workers. Okay. And just like a factory worker, each function has its own sort of set of instructions that it will follow, its own like functionality that it's supposed to do. So let's practice those, more of those today. I know that you guys practiced a little with Mario last night, right? So I tried to come up with some examples that hopefully you guys didn't work on yesterday. All right, so the first one is, so I'm gonna just describe it to you, okay? And I want you to come up with your own function name with your own parameters, etc. So I want you to create a function that converts let's say kilometers into miles.
Should I write like converter maybe? Give it a name.
Oh, by the way, sorry, one more distraction from my side. So there is an AI tool in REPL. It's built in and it helps you to like write functions. It's really helpful, but I think at this point you shouldn't use it because you need to learn to like come up with your own solution, at least in the beginning, right? AI tools are really helpful, but not at this point of your journey. So 1 second, am I still controlling your screen?
I think so, yeah.
So here's the AI tool. So if you just toggle it here to turn it off, and that's for everyone, guys. Especially like when you're working on your homework and stuff, just make sure that you turn it off, because what's the fun of because it's really fast and it's very smart, so it will solve your problem in like a split second. So what's the fun of you doing homework if you don't figure it out on your own, right?
Yeah.
You don't use that one, at least in first like couple of weeks, okay? All right, sorry. Let's go back to your example, Janar. So a function that will convert kilometers into miles.
Okay. Hmm. To write the
Okay, so first note, and that's for everyone. When you guys are coming up with a name for your function,
mhm,
it's not like 100% of cases, but in most of the cases, you want to start name of your function with some kind of like action description, with some kind of verb, basically, right? So for example, this one could be convert
uh-huh.
kilometers to miles, but you don't have to spell like kilometers, maybe like km to miles or something.
Like this.
Right.
Yeah.
And also it's a camel case, right? So like the very first letter is not
Yeah.
supposed to.
Sorry.
No, it's just, yeah. Okay, so, and the name of your function should always be very descriptive in a way that, if like a year from today, you look at this function and the
Mhm,
name of your function, and without even like reading the function body, you will be able to understand what the function does. It has to be very precise and
mhm,
like straight to the point. Like, what is this function responsible for? For example, function greet user, right? So the name of the function should be like precise and straight to the point of what this function does. Okay?
mhm. So
So if this function is supposed to convert kilometers to miles, so do you think it needs any kind of parameters?
yeah, it should take kilometers, right? So we just write like this,
Okay.
and the second parameter would be, we don't need miles here. Okay, so
So why don't we need miles, Jenna?
because we will be returning miles. It
Yeah,
will be
exactly. Yeah, that's the output of the function, right? Not
the output.
cool. Good. Continue.
So the second, I'm not sure about the second parameter.
So functions, they don't have to have two parameters. Sometimes
Right.
they have one.
Right.
Sometimes they don't have any parameters at all. So it really depends.
Okay.
Usually it's at least one.
0 miles equal oh, there's time and was it 0.25?
Yeah, I'm not sure about that. You guys will have to Google it.
Yeah,
I
I think
have
it's
no idea.
yeah. Turn M. Is that right?
Okay. Okay. So before I, commented, I want everyone to have a look at the function and to, do some code review. So first I want to hear from everyone, and then I will
I think
my own comments.
I'll just write the um, yes. This one should be before that, right?
Okay. Okay, so let's hear from your classmates. Let's see. Arvind, what do you think about this function? Do you have any comments, anything that you would like to change?
Um, uh, I don't know.
Okay. Let's see. Who is AT?
Oh, that's me. I'm just joining from the
Oh,
computer.
okay, cool. Oh, so you are joining from your laptop. Nice. I have another victim for today. Rustam is saying K is not defined. What do you think that means? Rustam, can you give us more context?
That comes before M.
Okay. Izada, what do you think? Izada?
Yep.
Mhm.
Looking
Comments?
into code.
Okay.
This one.
Okay, let's disable that one as well. Where is
Oh,
that?
okay. Yeah.
Let's switch to just the console. Could you click on the console tab right here? Yeah, cool. All right, so let's talk about this function. So this function is supposed to convert kilometers to miles, right? And Janar, you are absolutely right about kilometers being a parameter, right? Because that's the only parameter we need currently. Let's stop the remote control for 1 second. Okay, and let me request it again. Okay. So, oh. I was trying to move around with my mouse and I forgot that I haven't connected my mouse to my laptop. And I'm like, why it's not working? So, okay, so this part is just perfect. And it was a nice catch to say that kilometers need to be your parameter, right? So now, when you are creating a variable inside a function, it should serve like some kind of purpose, right? So in this case, what do you mean by M? Is it
Miles.
miles?
Yeah.
Okay. So then you are reassigning M to kilometers. Oh, okay, I see. And then returning miles. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So first off, M is like not very clear. okay? So if you want to name your variable, let's just do miles. Let's go with miles. And
Okay.
also don't forget about spaces between your, so like miles space, and then sign, and then a space again, okay?
Uh-huh.
Like clump your code together, because it will be very hard for you to read it. And also like, I mean, in VS Code, if you have Prettier installed,
Okay. Yeah.
oh, quite good. But even like get used to at least correct spacing, because during the interview, when you do the live coding, they will also pay attention to that.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
But it doesn't affect the functionality, right? Yeah.
in this case, it doesn't.
Uh-huh.
But sometimes when you get the syntax wrong, it may affect the functionality. But in this case, like the spacing doesn't really matter.
Uh-huh.
But during the live coding part of the interview, they may just give you, so it will not be like a VS Code thing. They'll probably just share some kind of link to like coding tools like REPL.
Mhm.
You will have to write your code, and probably it will not be, it will not come with some kind of, what's the word, formatters. Yeah, so you will have to make sure that your code is also written beautifully.
Mhm.
Okay, so when you're setting miles to 0 and then reassigning like kilometers times 1.25, in this case, there's really no point of first setting kilometers or setting miles to 0 and then reassigning them, because you can just do like, you can just immediately say
Mhm.
that miles, sorry, are equal to kilometers times 1.5. And again, don't forget about spacing here.
Okay.
Okay. Also, I love that you're using let here, because you think that miles is going to be reassigned, right? But
Mhm.
since we're not reassigning it anymore, we're just calculating the value of miles. Now we can use const.
Oh, okay. Mhm.
Sorry, what was that? Const. So const miles equals to kilometers times 1.25. Good. Now, what are we returning?
Miles.
Okay, fix that. Cool. All right. Also, if you see like on line 6, your console log is kind of grayish, right?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
What it means is that, or for example, earlier when you were just returning like M here, it was M here. So notice how this miles variable is kind of grayish as well, right?
Yeah.
Means that you are not using that variable. So this piece of code, so this variable specifically, is not being used anywhere in your code.
Mhm.
This is done for a specific purpose. So when you're dealing with large files with, like 100 lines of code, you want to see the piece of some pieces of code that are not being used, so you can delete them, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So always pay attention, and any code editor will show you that this piece of code is like grayish. It means that it's not being used.
Mhm.
So in here, for example, also like your console log is not being used here. Why? Any idea why, guys?
Mhm.
I think there is plus M and then again miles. We don't have M anymore.
That's true. That's
Even if I put it miles here, then it's still gray.
yeah. Even if you fix that part, it will still be grayish. Anybody else? So Lavinia, I know that you know, so I'm not, so I'm leaving you out of this question purposely, but maybe somebody else. Okay, so let's talk about the return statement here. Whenever your function sees the return statement, it means that this is the end of it. Once the function sees the return statement, it will not look any further for any kind of code that needs to be executed. So now, even if you create one more variable,
Yeah. Mario was talking about it last night.
yeah. So you see how it's also like grayish, right? So it means that this code is not being used at all. And just like here, like your console log is not being used. If you want your console log to be effective, you want to move it before your return statement.
Yeah.
So if you move it like anywhere before your return statement, you will see that now it's lighting up, right? Now you see that it is working. But my question is, why did you decide to put console log here?
Oh, so it prints out in the console.
Right. Okay, cool. So I mean, okay, so let's talk about the console. Console is the tool that you use in order to see the output of your function. So basically, when you're doing console log, you're saying that whatever is happening inside my function, I want to print it on the console so that I can see it, right?
Yeah.
But doing the console log and returning something are totally different things. So return statement is the output of your function. So that's the result of your function, If your function doesn't have a return statement, which happens sometimes, it means that your function doesn't really produce some kind of result, Console log doesn't really do anything. It's more like for you to know what's happening in your function so that you can see like physical output of the function on the console. So sort of like when you're saying, okay, so I don't know, let's say I'm the function and you are the engineer. So you're telling me, hey, multiply 5 by 4. And then once you calculate it, write this down on this sheet of paper so I can see. So like this sheet of paper is your console. So you can see the output of your result. But in this case, you can just return, for example, miles. Let's say we just want to see the miles, right? So you can have this console because inside the function, it doesn't really do anything. But it's very helpful when you're trying to debug. Okay, so, but now, if I run your code, do you think I will be able to see anything on my console?
No.
No, right? Even if I run it, I will not be able to see because I didn't tell my, like anything here, anywhere in my code, I didn't say to write something on the console, right? So what I can do, oh, by the way, we don't need that.
Okay.
So what I can do is two things. I can either, so this, when I'm calling this function, it will produce some kind of output, right? So what I can do is I can just do console log, like after the function, right? Console log, and then move this part inside the console. You do that for us?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah, because I don't think I can copy paste. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And you see, cool, cool. And now you see that it's highlighting with like a red wiggly line.
Yeah.
Mhm. Hover over it. It's trying to say something.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm. And before you run it, I want you to have a look at the right-hand side,
Mm-hmm.
the console. You see that it says reference error, convert kilometers to miles is not defined.
Yeah.
So this error is happening because basically JavaScript is telling you that this function doesn't exist
Mm-hmm.
in your code. Yeah, so right now when you hovered over the wrong name of the function, kind of told you the answer, but that's because you have a built-in AI tool there, and it's kind of telling you like, did you mean this instead of that? But if you were working with just your regular VS Code, you would not see that hint. All you would see is this outcome, reference error. Convert kilometers to miles is not defined. So when you see something like that, it's most probably that you haven't used the correct name of the function. Okay.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
we will dive into those error messages later on. But for now, like, don't be surprised if you see it. Just double check all of the function names, all of the variable names, and you will find that error. Okay, let's run our code again.
Okay.
There we go.
Works. Yeah.
Nice, good job. So what if I want to return something like this? Like this many kilometers is this many miles. How would I do it?
Should I write new function?
No, you can just fix the current one. So like this many kilometers. So for example, in this case, it would say 10 kilometers is 12.5 miles.
Oh, you mean switch the miles to kilometers here, right?
No. So right now you're just returning the miles, which is 12.5, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
On line 5. But I want you to return something like this. 10 kilometers is 12.5 miles.
Okay, so gonna do kilometers using concatenation, you mean?
Yep.
Shall I try?
Okay.
Oh no.
So let's look at the error on the console and let's try to guess what it's telling us.
Yeah, it's this one.
No, I want you to have a look at the message again, at the reference error. What does it say?
Oh, it's the kilometers.
No, reference error. What does reference error say?
Kilometers is not defined.
Yeah, so it's telling you that it doesn't know what kilometers is. And this is happening because when you declare a function and it's accepting some kind of parameter, right? So this parameter is only available inside the function. You cannot use that parameter outside of the function. Sort of like, what would be the analogy for it? Let's say you come to the bakery that sells donuts. So because it only sells donuts, you can only expect to, you know, to get the donuts from it, right? You
Mhm.
don't come there and buy flour.
Yeah.
In this case, kilometers is your flour because that's your input, right? That's the,
Right.
you know,
Mhm.
like sort of like the information that you use in order to produce some kind of result. Therefore, that kilometers parameter is not available anywhere outside of your function. So but that's one thing. Another thing is I want you to try to fix your return statement on line 5. Okay, so
Mhm.
that, because if you just do it in the console, it's not exactly the output of the function. It's just a message that you're printing on the console, right? But you want the output of the function to change, which means that your return statement is supposed to change. So it's not supposed to return only miles, but like a whole sentence, the one that you're using on line 8.
Mm. Oh, you want me to transfer it inside the function?
Yeah, the sentence, not the console log, just the sentence.
Oh, yeah. Return kilometers. So basically, I'm doing this sentence.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
yeah. I'll just type it in then.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, nice. There you go.
oh, cool. Thank you.
Good job. Very good job. Nicely done. Yeah, that's really good. If you do you guys want Janar to share it in the chat? The function itself, or is that okay?
Yes, please.
Okay. So if you could just share it maybe in the Zoom chat or somewhere. Very nice, Janar.
Thank you, Asel.
Thank you. You can stop sharing your screen.
Okay.
And next one. Oh, do you guys want to have a break before we go with the next question? It may take a while.
Sure.
Janar needs a break. Okay, let's take 10 minutes, right?
Okay.
Get like a cup of coffee and maybe a donut. I suddenly feel like having a donut.
Same.
Yeah, and I will see you guys in 10 minutes, okay?
Mhm.
Okay.
Okay. Let's see. Aizada. Right, you go next.
Yep, I'm here.
Okay. Do you want to share your screen?
Yeah, sure.
Mhm.
Mm,
Okay. So with you, we're going to start with something similar to the previous exercise, and then we will do something a little different. Let's see. Okay, let's write the function that will take three numbers as a parameter, and it will return the average of those numbers. Do you know how to calculate the average?
I don't think so.
So
So
the
we
average,
need three numbers and we need to sum them together
right?
and divide by 3.
Exactly. So we need a function that will calculate the average of three numbers. Mhm.
3. Should I? Okay, and we need 3 parameters here.
Okay. Can you guys hear my background noise?
No.
Good.
No.
No, not at all.
Good. Okay. For some reason, my husband decides to, because my husband, he plays guitar and he sings really well. So it's like his hobby. So he decides to do that only when I'm in class. That's just his superpower. And I'm always like worried that it may be distracting you guys a little bit. So let me know if you can hear the background noise. I'll very nicely ask him to stop.
We actually would like to hear him.
Oh, he's really good. He's very talented. Okay, where are we?
I um
Mm-hmm.
should I
Okay.
give all 3 parameters here?
What do you think?
Oh, I don't know why it's showing me gray. It's grayed out.
I think all three should be like num1, num2, num3.
That's right. And right now they're great because you're not using them anywhere. So you're just declaring, right? So don't worry.
But I'm doing something. Okay. Oh, okay. We do.
Take your time. I'm just staying silent because I don't want to distract you. But take your time, try to solve it, and then we will do the code review all together. So what do you think your function is supposed to return?
It's supposed to return. It should return average, but
Right. So let's return that.
and we need to call this function and give some value.
Right. Yeah, you can just press enter and it will,
Numbers 3.
okay. Do you want to test it?
Not sure if it.
It won't print out. I think you should write the console log. Take
Oh, okay.
So if you run it now, will you able to see the output on the console? Okay. Let's test your code.
Average is
Oh.
not fine.
So yeah, so right now you're getting a reference error, which says that average is not defined. And this is the error that we have seen earlier.
Oh, got earlier. Okay, got it.
So why do you think this error is happening?
Is
Because
it outside the function?
yeah, exactly. So whatever variables or parameters you have inside the function, they will not be available outside of the function, right?
To put it in
Plus,
function.
plus, your function is already returning the average. So you just need to make sure that you log the output of the function, right? Okay, let's run it again. So right now you see that the output is a function, right? That's because on line 6, when you're console logging, basically you're telling your console to print whatever calculate average 3 num is, which is a function. So it's like telling you that it's a function. In order to see the output, you need to call it, right?
Okay, so just store the value of variables here.
Exactly.
Okay.
Because if you call it without the parameters, it will not have the input data in order to calculate the average, right? Cool. There you go. Is this correct? And yeah. Good job. Do you guys have any comments to the current function? Like anything that you want to change?
Maybe instead of returning just the average number, write like a sentence.
Yeah, we could do that, but I mean, like, just semantically, do you have any comments to, like, maybe some syntactical changes or anything? So the one thing that I would probably change is the parameters, because you don't need to capitalize your parameters. They should follow the camel case convention. And it's not gonna affect your code, but it's just sort of like, it looks like a grammatical mistake, you know,
Okay.
if you're like, yeah, so better not to capitalize. Let's fix that. And also, I think this function can be just called calculate average. You don't need to say that it will calculate the average of 3 numbers. So the function itself can be just called calculate average.
Oh, yeah, right. Because we can add some more parameters here. Okay.
It could be, yeah, it could be. Okay. Nice.
I would leave the 3 because we are dividing by 3. So
Oh, but, if you had 4 numbers, then you would divide by 4. Right, because we're getting, so the average is calculated from the sum of all the numbers divided by the number of numbers, basically. So if we had 2 numbers, then we would divide their sum by 2.
yeah, so but since we're giving 3 parameters, maybe if other developer looks at it, he would know that it can only take like 3 numbers.
Oh, I mean, yeah, we can say calculate average of 3, or we can just say calculate average. So I guess, like, you will have to decide from the context of the, the workflow that you're in.
Okay.
In this case, I think it's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, definitely, like, you can say calculate average of 3. It's not, there is no like exactly the one exactly correct answer, right? It just depends on the context.
Okay. Yeah.
So yeah, your version, Janar, can also be valid, and this version can also be valid. So, like, there's no specific answer.
Hmm.
Okay, so Izada, if you could share this code in the chat, and also I want you to continue with another function. Let's see. Let's write a function that will calculate like a cubical value of a number. So, like, if we calculate the cubical value of 2, that would be 8, right?
Oh,
2
okay.
to the power of 3.
Yes. Okay, so we need number. Uh, number and one more time number. Okay. Slide my number one more time.
Okay.
Should I do the parentheses here?
What's that?
Should I do parentheses here, or is it gonna just go by order?
Yeah, you don't need here. So when you're writing like a mathematical calculation, just follow regular mathematical conventions here. Yeah. So if, you know, if like normally you wouldn't, if you were writing this on a paper and normally you wouldn't put parentheses, then it means that you don't need parentheses here. Mm-hmm.
Cubicle, and then we can do that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try 3.
Mm-hmm.
We can see if it's work. No, it's not. Oh, it is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh,
Perfect. Okay, very nice. Mm-hmm.
oh, it's working. Okay.
Good job. So what if we needed to calculate, let's say, a number to the power of 10?
So it would be like 10 степени.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean,
Have an issue.
I'm sure there is some comments maybe,
Mhm.
but like we can do, of course, multiply by num, by num, by num, by num.
Yeah, not very efficient, right? So
Um,
let me show you something.
um, let me go to the settings. I see quest. I think I approved it.
Okay, cool. Let me try.
Oh yeah.
Yep. So sometimes for handling these kind of things, JavaScript offers you some built-in solutions. So in this case, you can use math.pow. So math.pow is a function in itself, and it accepts two parameters. First one is the number that you want to, so like the base number, right? So in this case, that would be 4. And the second one is what's the word? What's the term? Exponent? Yeah, exponent. So in this case, how would you implement it with math.pow? So it's a function, and you need to call it with two parameters. First one is the number that, like the base number, right? In this case, that would be 4. And second one is the exponent. So let's say if we want 4 to the power of 3, then you would pass.
Like should
First,
it 4?
yeah,
Is it
but
like with the
yeah,
comma?
but since, yeah, with a comma. But since it can be any number, so we can use our number parameter, right? And then
3.
exactly. So if you run it now, it will produce the same output.
Okay.
So we have like a whole class on JavaScript methods, like built-in methods that JavaScript offers to exactly like to handle these kind of things. So this is just a little peek into those methods. So I have a question for you, Izada. What if we want, so right now the cubical part, like the power of 3 is hard-coded, right? So what if we wanted to have a function that will accept, so both base number and exponent as parameters. So it can be anything. It can be like 5 to the power of 10. It can be 8 to the power of 4.
I
That
mean,
kind.
we can change just the name of function and this part. Maybe we
Okay.
can do exponents, calculate exponential value rate.
Okay.
Not sure if I write it right. Const.
You can just say result because
Oh.
exponent is the number that you use like the power of, you know, that part. So probably result is a better choice.
Mhm.
What else needs to change?
Should return also results
Right.
and here Yep.
So what if I want 4 to the power of 10? So I want like the exponent part to be also, right now it's hard coded, but I want it to be dynamic. So when I say dynamic, I mean, so when I say hard coded, I mean that current function can only get a cubical value, right? But I want it to be more dynamic and I want the exponent part to be more dynamic.
Oh, okay. So we can do like we can give two parameters here.
Perfect.
What if one
Perfect. Go
if
ahead.
one is num, second will be like x p maybe. We can do here. I'm not sure what to do with the mass power. Now we can remove it, I guess. And result would be, oh no.
We still need it because we don't want to do the calculations, right? I mean, we could, but
Oh, it was done like that.
and you need to invoke it. Okay.
Number and okay, exp.
Perfect.
And here we can do like 4 and 3.
Nice. Very good. Good job, Azada. Thank you so much.
Thank you for your help. Stop sharing.
Any volunteers to go next? I think. Argun, we had you, right? Are you joining from your laptop now, or are you still on your phone? Okay.
Wait, hello? Yeah. Hello?
Yeah. Are you joining from your laptop?
I'm joining from my laptop, yeah.
Okay. Do you want to go next?
Can I go next?
Okay. Let's see. Zarina, let's do you. So we are solving algorithm questions, and we are sharing our screens one by one so that you guys can also get used to coding in front of your classmates. And trust me, it's so much better to do it in front of 7 people than in front of 15 people or 16 or whatever. So let's do a little practice. Zarina, let's share your screen then.
Can you see?
Yep. So we're doing like very simple functions today. Yeah, you can just open like a.
Could you please repeat?
Hmm?
Could you please repeat? What should I use?
Oh, do you have REPL account?
No. But I
You-
can, I think,
Yeah,
repeat.
yeah. You can just sign up with your email.
Second,
And we need a new REPL. Node.js.
Yep.
Create. Nice. So left-hand side is like your VS, the right-hand side is your console. Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Let's see. Hold on 1 second. Let me find something. So I have like a bunch of functions, but I'm trying to organize them in like increasing level of difficulty. Okay, so let's create a function that will calculate so basically the time it takes you to travel. So we're gonna have like a distance that needs to be traveled and maybe the speed that you're driving with, right? So we want this function to calculate the time that it will take you to travel, like a specific.
We have to multiply to each other, or
Hmm?
what is the formal? We have to calculate distance for speed. To
Yeah.
speed.
Yeah, so we have distance and we have speed. So we need to calculate the time it will take us to travel. Oh, could you
Oh.
also, yeah, there's, and that's for everyone. Could you, 1 second, let me get the remote control. So in Repo, there is this, on the bottom here, there's this autocomplete AI tool, which is really nice, but in the initial stages of your learning process, let's not use it, okay?
Okay. Yeah. Right. Any distance? Should I
So
just
yeah.
type?
Yeah, let's say like 200 kilometers and with the speed of, I don't know, 50 kilometers per hour.
And run or here?
Yeah.
Like, is it correct? I don't know about, I'm not
It
sure
should
about
be divided, distance divided by speed.
Okay.
Nice. Good. So, okay, nice. Let's do one more. Oh, if you could also share this in the chat so others can
Yep.
have it. So let's say you are working as a developer at Walmart. Okay. So your task is to calculate the total cost of the items that people are purchasing. And yeah, so let's say this is your task to calculate the total cost of the items that people are purchasing. So what kind of parameters do you think you need here?
The prices and the amount of products.
Okay.
what does it sell?
Good.
But we have different types. Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's just assume that it's one type of product for this exercise.
Yep. Количество. Я forgot.
Like amount.
Amount
Mhm.
and price.
Mhm.
Total amount, maybe. And amount.
Mhm. Mhm. Okay, good. So now your new task is to introduce the option of a discount to this function. So let's say Walmart wants to be able to give discounts for any type of product. It can be any kind of discount, 10, 20, 50%. I want you to calculate the price, like total amount, with
With discount.
the discount. Yeah.
Okay. I think we have to make first of all the price with discount and then multiply to amount.
Okay, go ahead. It can be any discount. It can be 10, 5%, 15%, even
Yeah,
100.
I'm thinking about should we make more should I give the parameter also?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah.
Discount.
Every time you guys have some kind of input that your function will depend on, and this input can change, right? So if this input can change, it means that definitely you need one more parameter in your function. Okay? Just close it. And everyone can feel free to brainstorm together, guys. Oh, Zelina, do you want to unmute yourself too?
Oh, I'm so sorry.
No worries.
So I have forgot about the discount. Is it correct?
Good
So
question.
Yes, it is.
okay. So 20.
So let's go with some kind of prices that we can actually check the, so let's
Yeah.
say one product that costs $100 with a 20% discount. Okay, and before, okay.
I'm so sorry.
No worries. So the output is 20. Is this the output that we're expecting?
So we have 20% discount on 100.
Mm-hmm.
No, should be 80.
Should be 80, right? Because 20% discount, it means 20% off of the price, right? So if
Yeah.
it's 20% off of 100, it means that the
Yeah.
amount will be 80. And since we're only buying one item, so it should return 80 instead of 20. Okay, so with that in mind, I want you to have a look at your solution and try to modify it. And everyone is, feel free to brainstorm it.
I think the formula for price discount is not
Yeah.
correct. You need
Yeah.
to price divide by 100 and then multiply for discount.
So we have the same thing.
So
In total, I think it's not the amount, but the price, price minus the price discount, right? Oh,
Yeah.
no,
I made two. What do
price
you mean?
times amount
Mhm.
minus price discount times amount.
Just a second. Price
Actually,
discount.
this one was the previous one I think was correct. Price divided by the price multiplied by discount divided by 100.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we get the discounted price. Now the constant total would be the old price, like price times amount minus you take it into parentheses.
So
minus
one
the
more. Should I one more const?
you can just use the parentheses, like for example, price times amount. A const total is equal to price. Go right after the equal.
So
No, I mean const total.
yep.
Price times amount. Price times amount. No, just write price and звездочка, star,
Oh yeah.
amount
Okay.
instead of the price discount. Yeah.
Amount.
Minus outside of the parentheses
Yeah.
and
Price discount.
open parentheses again.
Yep.
Price discount times amount.
Prices.
Amount.
Yeah.
Yes. Mhm.
Okay. Thank you. Yeah.
okay, so what's happening here?
Price amount without discount here. Then his price with discount and amount, and then we just which
Okay. So I mean, yeah, technically it's correct, but we can do it better, right? So your solution right now, it will work. But can you find a way to optimize it?
should I divide into переменные in that or
So
Asel, are you asking to make it like in one line? All the
no. It doesn't have to be one line, but line 11 is a little,
yeah.
I mean, it works, but you can optimize it. Line 11.
Yeah, I got it. Should I here? Okay. Mm.
Yeah.
I have one more. Oh, what is that? No.
Oh, you have two extra.
Yes.
So you can get rid of that and the other one as well. So you don't need a closing parenthesis.
Oh yeah. So
Exactly. Good. Nice. All right, let's share that with your classmates as well. Good job, everyone. Do you guys want to have your second break now before we move on to the next question?
yes.
Janar always wants a break. All right. Yeah, let's have a 10-minute break. And after that, let's see. Argun, do you want to share your screen after the break for the next couple of exercises?
I'm again joining through the phone. I had to do something, so
Okay,
logging
no.
on. Sorry, I mean for next week for sure. Just this week. Forgive
I'll
me.
I'll
Sorry.
keep that in mind. Everyone, please remember that. So next week we can torture Argun.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you.
Anybody? Thank you. Any volunteers for the next couple of exercises? Okay, so I'll just pick one. There should be some kind of dramatic music on the background right now. All right, so I'll see you guys in 10 and I'll just pick somebody then. And thank you, Izada, for sharing your screen. You did really well. Oh, was it Zarina? I'm sorry. Who was the last person sharing screen?
It was Zarina.
Yeah, sorry about that. So yeah, thank you. All Kyrgyz people look the same to me, you know? So I can't really tell the difference. Okay. Let's see. Who do we have here? Kai, do you want to go next?
Yeah, hi. Okay.
Hi there.
Yep.
You want to try?
So, yeah, sure.
So you just need to share your screen and open REPL.
Okay, yep. I'm going to do it right now. So, share. Okay. Two. Yeah, can you see my screen?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So let's do this. Let's create a function that will take any number of days, and then it will return something like this. So like this many days is, oh, and let's turn off the AI tool.
Okay. How to do it? Yeah.
You
Okay.
click on that one.
Mm-hmm.
What's happened? If you click on that one, there's like a toggle, like a checkbox that you can uncheck. Yeah. Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
yeah, it's unchecked. Yep, I did.
Nice. So let's create a function that will take any number of days as a parameter, and it will return how many hours, seconds, and milliseconds there are in the given number of days.
Oh, okay. Let's try. So, what is it gonna be? Is it calculate how many hours? Calculate hours or time?
How many hours, how many seconds, and how many milliseconds. So the output will look something like this. Let's say 3 days, right? 3 days has this many hours, this many seconds, and this many milliseconds.
Days. Okay. We are going to return. Okay, we're doing it to have a different variables for hours, seconds, and milliseconds.
So let's say I call your function with 3 days, right? So 3 days. How many hours is it? How many seconds is it? And how many milliseconds?
Oh,
So
okay. Yep. Okay, for example, if we send 1 day, it's gonna be 24 hours.
right.
And then it's gonna be hours and what is it? So you're doing it minutes or just seconds?
I mean, if you want, yeah, we can.
Yeah, maybe minutes and seconds. I don't know,
Okay.
milliseconds about that.
Okay,
Yeah.
sure. Is that your full name, Kai?
No,
What's your
it's
full name?
my yeah, it's my nickname. So my name's Kazbek.
Cool.
Yeah, I used to say it's easier here in
Yeah,
American companies. Yeah.
I know. Yeah.
So hours, minutes,
Mm-hmm.
and seconds. Okay. Let me do this. Hours equal to what we need to do formula. So divide if it's 1 day. Let me have calculator here. Okay, hours it's gonna be 24 hours one day. Yeah, I'm
Mhm.
trying to understand how to get it 24 out of one.
So if it's 3 days, how many hours is it?
Yeah, okay, 3 days. Okay, days. Then multiply two, not multiply. 3 days multiply to
Yes.
24. Is it correct? Not 24, right? So
Yes.
24 plus 24 plus 20. Okay, yeah, 20. Then, yeah, let me unselect just to verify.
Mhm. Take your time.
Okay, not running, of course. Calculate hours. 3.
There is one more L. Cal
Uh,
function name.
oh, okay, it's mistype. Yep, thank you. Okay, 72, is it correct? 24 plus 24. It's, oh my goodness, I can't calculate the
It's
basic
48 and then 24
48
more.
and plus, oh, okay, yeah. So, looks like correct. Now next, minutes. Constant minutes is going to be 3 days. Okay, 70. Okay, we're going hours, taking hours, multiply 1 hour has how much? 60 minutes and 72 hours. Need to have multiplied to 60, I think, here. And then seconds, const seconds equal to minutes multiply to how many
60.
seconds? 60 seconds. Yeah. Thank you. Yep. Okay. Now how I need to output everything in one?
So maybe like as a sentence. So like
Okay, as a
3 days
sentence. Yeah.
is this many hours, this many minutes, etc.
Yep. Output. Okay, we are returning output, right? Okay, let me create output first. Const output equals to the 3 days. I think this one. Days equal to how much is it? Hours. Hours. Oops. hours, and then minutes. Minutes and seconds.
Mm-hmm.
Mm, output. Okay, now I need just to console log output. Can I console log output here?
Okay, let's run it.
Yeah, let's try. 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
Equal to 3 days equal to 72 hours for 1,030 minutes and I had a lot of seconds.
Okay, so is your function
This
returning anything right now?
not returning anything,
Uh-huh.
but
Let's make sure that we actually return our output and then just console log on line 12.
yep. I'm going to, yeah, I can return it somewhere here. I think return up, return, and then here console log. I think this should work. Okay, yeah, now it's returning.
Mm-hmm. Very nice. Okay, good job. Um,
Yeah, okay, it looks like a 60. Okay, it was good exercise. Okay, I can delete this too.
mm-hmm. Nice. Okay, let's do one more. I
Okay.
think we have time for one more. 1 second, let me find it. In the meantime, do you guys have any questions about what we did today or just anything that you covered this week?
I was yesterday. So Mario said about closure function, something like that.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
I think I don't remember. Yeah, did I get it correctly or
Oh,
not?
yeah, closure is a very, very advanced topic. Like it's way too early to talk about it.
Oh, okay, maybe yeah, because I don't have any notes. I thought that I didn't understand it. So maybe he didn't explain. I don't know. Yeah, so I have it closure function,
Maybe
but
he just mentioned it in a context or something, but it's a way advanced topic. So like
okay,
we'll talk about it at the very end of JavaScript.
okay, makes sense.
Okay. So let's see. Uh-huh. So I want you to write a function that calculates how much money you will spend on gas for your trip. Okay, so the function is supposed to return how
Okay,
much money you will spend for gas during a trip. So what kind of input data do you think you need in order to be able to calculate that?
What kind of data?
Yeah.
So I need how much money? Okay, price, gas price, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what the gas price and how many gallons?
Mm-hmm. How many gallons?
Gallon
So
amount.
let's say you don't know exactly how many gallons you will.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay. It's okay. Based on the miles then.
Yeah, miles and
Mhm.
your car's um
My car's the gas usage.
yeah, let's do that.
I don't know how to say it, but yeah, gas usage.
Mm-hmm.
Gas price, miles, and gas usage. Okay. Gas price, gas usage. I don't know gas usage, for example. Which number to take here?
Yeah, it
Let
can be
me.
different, right?
It can be any, right?
Yeah, that's why it's
Okay,
in
20, I don't know, 20, 30, 25. Yeah, let me put the gas price, for example, $3 and $5, for example. And gas usage, I don't know, 20, what is that, 20 something per miles, and then miles, let's say 1,000 miles.
Mm-hmm.
Now, so okay. So we're gonna have gas expert. I need to have this formula
Mm-hmm.
calculate. So if somebody knows how this formula, so gas price, gas
I think
usage.
it's the gas price times, and if you open the parentheses, miles divided by gas usage.
Gas. Let's check gas price. So multiply gas
Yeah,
usage.
multiplied.
Usage and
Divided.
divided. Okay, divided by miles.
I have different formula. I think miles divided by gas usage. So for example, if you traveled 5,000 miles and the gas usage is 20 gallons per mile, it's actually calculated as 20 gallons per 100 miles, right? Usually.
$20.
Yes.
1 mile is enough for, I don't know. I don't remember.
So
Okay.
maybe you can like make it in two lines. First, you find
Okay. Yep.
the gas
Found-
usage.
Okay. Gas usage first. Yep. Then.
So it's basically
Gas usage.
gas usage times or divided by 100.
Let me get.
That way you will find out how much gas you're using for 1 mile of traveling.
Gas usage divided by miles.
By 100.
Oh, by gas usage. Yeah.
Asel, are we doing it right? Is the math correct? No. Oh
I
man.
don't know.
looks
Yeah,
fine.
so yeah, we need to figure out how to.
Yeah.
Look, yours is a gas usage, and then the second after the equal sign is also gas usage. Maybe you should rename the first constant, like
Yeah.
Um,
You can say like gas per
okay.
month.
yeah,
Yep,
gas per
yep.
month.
Divide the distance of the road by your miles. Divide the distance of the miles by. So first we need to divide distance, this is miles, by the per gallon. It's miles per gallon to this car. Divide the distance the road by your miles per gallon. Miles per gallon.
Oh, no.
Okay, this one is miles per gallon, right? Not gas per miles per gallon. Miles per gallon. So we need to miles. Oh my goodness! It looks like so easy, but I can't think through right now. So
By the
when I'm
way,
online.
by the way, guys, is the gas usage given like per mile or per 100 miles? Because I'm really not sure. I'm not really good with cars. I kind of assumed that it's per mile, but I don't know.
Yeah, I think well, here it's like the amount of miles you can get per mile. Yeah, so sorry about that. I confused you, Kai. The first one is not correct. So MPG,
Which
miles
one?
per gallon, miles per gallon.
Yeah, miles per gallon. Yeah, I did it.
Yeah.
Yeah, miles per gallon. So we need to identify this. Yeah, I usually have a website where to calculate all the miles. It's a special government website how to calculate your trip.
So let's
here
do
in
this.
the US.
So our
Okay,
input is going to be gas price, miles per gallon, as a second
miles per.
parameter. Instead of gas usage, let's do miles per
Miles
gallon.
per gallon,
And
yeah.
Oh, okay, here.
Yeah.
Okay, here. Miles
And
per
then
gallon.
total amount of miles that need to be traveled. So now we need to calculate a total cost of our gas.
Gas.
Yeah.
So now we need the gas usage, right? Here, then. Gas price, gas per gallon. So miles. Okay, yeah, miles per gallon. Yeah, for example, 20. And this is gas price per gallon. Okay.
Oh, so it will be
Okay. So,
miles divided by miles per gallon and multiplied by the price.
okay. Miles divided by what?
By miles per gallon.
By mile. Okay, miles per gallon. And then,
Multiplied by the price.
okay, by the price. Oops. Gas price. Okay.
Yeah, and again, please make sure that when you're creating variables inside the function, that they don't have the same name as
Yep. or what is it? What we are calculating? Gas expenses. Okay. Gas expenses. Let's see what's gonna be. 175. Is that what is that? 175 gallon, or is it gonna be
Dollars.
okay, dollars? That gas expenses.
That looks correct, I think.
Okay.
Mhm.
Then here we need to. Okay, we just need to. We don't need anything here. Just we are returning everything in one line if it's correct. And then console log.
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, let's try to change it. For example, if it's $4. Okay. Two. Yeah. Okay. It looks correct. Yeah. The only thing is, yeah, to know this formulas different. Is there any place website to have all the different formulas, all the possible formulas?
No.
No. Google search. Okay.
Unless it's some kind of like, I don't know, like Fahrenheit to Celsius or something. But sometimes you have to come up with your own unique ideas, because this kind of thing I'm sure that you can find online, but sometimes you have to come up with your own like weird formulas to calculate different things, because it all depends on the company. Like they may have different types of demands, so it's good to practice this kind of things in order to build your own logic and to be able to convert that logic into an algorithm, right? So that so that the function can calculate everything for you.
Mhm.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you guys want to do one more? I guess last one for today. Hold on, let me find it. Okay.
It's actually fun as long as you're not the first one.
Yeah, it is good exercise, good experience, because I know personally when I'm doing something online on this kind of calls or during the interview, my brain shuts up. Even for this some kind of easy formulas, I prefer having my own time to do this kind of things and come back with a solution. But when you do on the interviews, you can't say, okay, let me close my Zoom and come back in 5-10 minutes.
Let me get
Right.
back to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, if only we could do that, right? But yeah, it's a good practice, and we will try to do more of those. During your JavaScript classes, I think you'll be sharing your screen a lot. And it's also a good practice to kind of build your confidence, because you'll be doing that during the interviews and also like at work, you will be doing that. So it's good to practice now while we're all in the same boat and we're all learning, right? So and you guys, I think by now, probably you guys feel comfortable with each other at least, right? Because you know each other, I think, pretty well by now. So it's good to do that in your small group of people first, so you can kind of get used to that and fight your like initial anxiety, so that when you're in the main class or you know at a job interview, you don't get too stressed. I mean, you still will be stressed, but at least it's not like 100%, maybe more like 70 or 60.
Yeah, so yeah, when you are prepared, it's gonna be less stress, right? When you,
Of course. Yeah, the more practice you have with this kind of like, I know that it's like stressful, right? And sharing your screen and also like trying to come up with the logic and stuff, but it really helps. Even with this like small algorithms that we're doing. I mean, I couldn't like so when I was prepping for today's class, um, the number of questions and like the range of questions that I could come up with is really tiny because you guys are just learning the ABCs of the functions. So I can't really, you know, do anything advanced, even like not even advanced, but like a little bit more interesting, you know. Lavinia, you probably know like how limited I am today with the amount of questions I can come up with. And I can't really introduce like a new topic because it's an extra class. So we're not supposed to do like new topics during the extra class. But even with those like limited, you know, small questions, I think it's important that you guys start practicing sharing your screen and trying to like come up with the solution and stuff. Also, it really helps to talk while you're solving. You know how like, for example, during our classes, like when I'm doing something on the screen, I'm typing and I'm also talking at the same time, like what I'm trying to do, what this line will do, like what is my goal, right? So these kind of things. When you're solving an algorithm, and even in class and in the interview, it's a must, but even in class, you should start practicing it now. So for example, with this last question, what was the last question? Oh, it was the price. Yeah, the cost of gas for the trip. So ideally, let's say this is your interview. So they will ask you. So we want you to write a function that will calculate my total expenses, like gas expenses. So for example, during the interview, they may go with different sort of strategies. And one of the strategies is to give you very little information. So they will observe you, like what you're gonna do with it. And the worst thing that you can do is start typing right away. That's the worst thing that you can do, because if you feel like you don't have enough information, the first thing that you want to do is ask questions. So let's say I'm telling you, okay, so I want you to come up with a function that will calculate my total gas expenses, right? So I'm waiting for you to like ask me more, right? Because what they're looking for in an interview is not only like your technical skills, but they are also looking for interpersonal skills. So they want to check if you're able to communicate effectively in a team. And you know, when they give you technical tasks, it's not always very clear what they want from you. So it's up to you to find out, you know, exactly like what needs to be done. So in this case, let's say you're given this task. So then you may start asking questions like, okay, what kind of data do we have on our hands? Like, do we know how far is the strip, or like what's the miles per, what was that, mpg, miles per gallon, right? So
Yep, MPG.
yeah, of the car, like what's our input data? So, and then you can start, throwing ideas. So you can say, I would think that we need, in this function, we would need probably like the distance that needs to be traveled, right? The, MPG of a car, and what else? Like a current price of gas, like per gallon, right? So, and then you look at their sort of reaction. And if you see that they're like nodding and say, yeah, let's try this, let's try that. So then you will start typing. So first you should always clarify. I mean, of course, it's like really far for you guys, like the path to your interviews, like real interviews is far from today, but it's good to start practicing these kind of skills now. Why? Because it may seem like an easy thing to do, but actually when you're talking and typing at the same time, it's kind of difficult to, it's like, I don't know, it's like trying to ride a bicycle and also like play with a ball at the same time, because you just want to focus on your task. You want to shut off, focus on the task, and just, be able to, build the logic around the task, right? So that's your first instinct. But in an interview, they will be really like observing you, not only your technical skills, but also how well are you communicating. So even if you have all the data that you need on your hands, still you need to say, oh, okay, so probably it makes sense to do this and that. So I'm gonna do right now, like, I want to do this first. So like this part of the implementation, and then I will do that. So like, it's very important to not only to put your thoughts into a code, but also say them out loud. Okay, so first I'm gonna do this, then I'm gonna do that. So now I'm trying to do this. You know, you can always say like, so if you're stuck, let's say, but you feel like you can crack it, but you're a little stuck, you can just ask for like for an input from an interviewer, and maybe they can push you in the right direction. So yeah, so try to like, especially next week, you guys will be solving a lot of algorithm questions, because you guys have just started practicing functions, so you will be, covering new topics and practicing at the same time. So if you're sharing your screen, or even if you're working on like your homework task, I know that you guys will get some homework tasks related to algorithm questions. Just try to practice it when you're doing your homework. Like, okay, so this is the data that we have. So I think our function should have this and that. So like these kinds of parameters, because, we need to know these things. And then, so first, what I'm going to do is this and that. So now I'm trying to implement, something else. So like, try to really practice it, okay? It's very important. And believe me, the earlier you will begin to do that, the better, because it seems like you still have like 4 or 5 months, 5 months, right? But the time flies fast, first thing. And then second is that habits take time to stick, right? So if you start developing this habit now, by the end of JavaScript, you will be able to like vocalize your ideas, and that's very important. In an interview, if they give you an algorithm question and you will solve it without saying a word, even if you solve it correctly, it will not be like 100% success. I would say it would be like even like 50% of success because they are observing your behavior during the interview. Okay, so just make sure that you start practicing like saying your ideas out loud, even when you're doing your homework. All right. Okay. Do you guys have energy for one more question, or do you kind of want to maybe ask some questions? Maybe something was not clear from last week's topics. We still have like 15 minutes in our hands.
So yeah, I just have a question. Yeah, we have one more participant, Luana Lavinia.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to know who is she.
Oh, yeah. Do you want to tell us about yourself a little bit?
Hi, yes. My name is Ioana Lavinia. I rejoined this cohort. I actually started before with SATEC, and now I decided to try again to give myself another chance. And I'm just excited for I don't know, to join the team and to graduate.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's really cool. I'm so excited to have you here. And it's great that you guys have Lavinia because she's been through this boot camp once. So Lavinia knows, you know, the best practices really well. So if you need some tips for studying or, you know, anything else, just reach out to her and make sure that she's feeling welcomed, okay? If you have like any group activities, make sure that you call, like ping like a group chat or something. And if you have any, do you guys have any like group chats for this cohort? Usually they have something like a WhatsApp group or something.
Yeah, we have a WhatsApp group and also a channel on Slack.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
24-2 is,
Uh-huh.
I think it's
Lavinia.
the channel. Yep.
Mhm. Okay. Lavinia, are you in our Slack channel?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
Izada introduced me, yes, to both of them. Thank you.
Oh, very nice. And you have access to everything, right?
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. Nice. So, did you guys get any homework from Friday?
So yeah, regarding the homework, Cecilia, yeah, because I was waiting for the response from Gildas to clarify, but I think she didn't answer yet to me. So yeah, we created the so yeah, we divided into the different teams,
Uh-huh.
and so in our so based on the web so learning platform, so we need to submit our homeworks through the team repo. So in our team we created team repo
Uh-huh.
for that homeworks. And yeah, we're gonna do the peer reviews for each other's
Oh,
so each other's homeworks. So how it was in the previous cohort is the right way to do, or there are different ways?
I actually don't even remember because I never dealt with homeworks. But I
Okay.
think, do you guys have access to SATEX portal, right? You have access. Okay.
Which program?
To SATEX GitHub.
Which GitHub?
Huh?
Which Satex GitHub?
So SATEC,
Okay. Satex GitHub. Okay. No, I never checked that.
so I think the way it usually is done is that somebody, usually it's, I think Azamat, he creates like cohorts, so for example, 24/2 cohorts repo on SATEX GitHub page. And then you guys will create a branch with your own name and the homework name in it. And you will push the changes that you make to that branch. I think that's how, I'm not sure. I don't want to like mislead.
Okay, yeah. So Azamat divided us into groups, but he didn't create the whole group repo. But we have a team repos
Is it
for
that
4 or
team
5
repo?
different.
So that team repo, is it under Satex GitHub account or your own?
No.
Ah.
It's just under team leads. So team leads for the
Oh,
teams. They created the repo, but it's separate. It's not connected to Satex
okay. So
repo.
maybe they changed that a little. So Azamat told you to create your own group repos and then you will push your homework there, right? Is that?
So no, he didn't give an instruction. We created teams for our GitHub social network project, but we didn't receive any clear group instructions for that, how to deal with JavaScript homeworks. But so Gildas confirmed that we will be doing homeworks in the same team, but they're not created. So yeah, there is no Satex repo created for the homeworks.
Let's see. Hold on.
Satex.
Okay, let me check the portal 1 second. I think somewhere in the portal there were, I remember that there were instructions. 1 second.
I think Manier told us that there will be different groups for the homeworks. It's not the same as the group project team.
Can you guys see my screen?
Yes.
Usually, in the portal, they have some kind of instruction. So yeah, in the beginning of JavaScript, there's always like a bunch of questions about homeworks. I think one of the main instructors, I think it was Azamat who handles the homework submission thing, but I'm not sure. Lavinia, how was it in your cohort? Do you remember?
Yes, so I remember that we had GitHub, a Satex GitHub, and we were evaluating each other's homework. But in order to have that access to the GitHub, we had to modify something to write our GitHub address on the platform account for the Satex, like different.
Yeah, I wonder if they still do that though. I mean, I wonder if they still
this was
require.
helping us.
Yeah, because like a couple of cohorts ago, I think they had a private repos created for homework submission, and yeah, it required like some kind of access thingy, but I don't think that's the case anymore, though. I'm really not sure. So what I would do, guys, is I would just work on the homework. Don't rush with submission because there's no deadline anyway. So just try to finish your homework. And I only remember though, so like you need to create a branch under your team repo. So with your name. So for example, in this case, you would be, so like Kai, and then name of the homework. And then you start working on it. So after you're done, you will create a pull request and ask your team to review your code. Something like that.
So yeah, we already did it in our team. But the only thing is team repo is not created under Satex repo. That's the only thing. If it's fine, we can do it. Yeah, but yeah, because it's gonna be good practice for us to work with the branches, to create branch for every homework and merge it and delete that branch and have a new homework, create a new branch. It's like in a work, so as a developer's work working on a ticket. But yeah.
Yeah. So I think if Azamat told you to create your own repos, probably that's the repo that you will use for homeworks, but you want to double check with him.
Okay, we will. So we'll
And
check that. Yeah, he will be Monday.
I think for JavaScript, I think I'm not sure like if somebody from Tech will be checking your homeworks. I think you guys will be reviewing each other's homeworks, something like that. But also like just double check with Azamat on that.
So yeah, are you in contact with Gildas? Because she's not responding for a couple of days. I don't know if she is okay.
Oh, we don't really have contact outside of work, but I can try to text her. Yeah.
Yeah, because I wrote to your that group for the WhatsApp and Slack, but I haven't received anything
Mm-hmm.
so far.
So did you text her on WhatsApp or did you text her on?
WhatsApp and plus in Slack, yeah, both.
Uh-huh. Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
So
Me-
because we don't have because we don't have curriculum for next week. Yeah, this curriculum which is on the spreadsheet, it's the last day is today, but we don't
Oh,
have
really?
for the week. Yeah, so we don't have understanding what's gonna be for the next week
Hmm.
and month.
Okay. Um, so that's the last one, right? Okay. Yeah, so I'll try to ping her and ask about that, and also I'll remind her of your message then.
Okay. Yep. Thank you.
Usually she's very responsive, so I don't know, maybe there is some reason for it, but usually she responds in the very short.
No, yes, she was responding fast, but for the last week, so that's why I'm asking if she's fine, if she's
Mhm.
okay.
Okay. Yeah, I honestly, we don't have contact outside of like work stuff, but I'll ping her today. Okay. And yeah, and don't rush with the homework submission. Maybe would be a good idea to just double check with Azamat on Monday. Sorry. And then maybe you guys can start submitting. Okay. All right. Well, yeah, thank you so much for joining, guys. I hope it was somewhat helpful for you guys to practice those functions today, because next week you're gonna get a lot more of those, and they will get more complex. So just make sure that you practice and do homeworks, and always, like after each class, ask your instructor if you should start solving the questions from the portal. Because I told you guys already, but I'm just reminding you because it's very important. I think it was in the practice section, you will see like a bunch of questions, right? So like always ask your instructor if you should start solving them, and like which number of questions you should solve after today's class. Okay, so if they will know, they will tell you. But these questions are like really fun. I think now you cannot really solve any of them, but starting next week, you'll probably start solving those as well. Okay, so those are really important questions, easy, junior, medium questions. All of those you will need to solve preferably until end of the JavaScript section. And I know it seems like a lot, but it's actually not as scary as it looks, because a lot of them have similar kind of logic, but it's still important to solve them because it helps you practice your algorithm skills. So it's very, very important that you do those. Okay, so next week, start asking your instructor if you should start looking into these questions. Okay, sometimes like some of those you will solve during the class, but I think most of them you will have to solve on your own. So probably next week you will start solving those questions in the class, Maybe like you will solve up to, I don't know, 20, 30 or something during the class hours. But after that, you'll be on your own with those questions. And I mean, not on your own, but like they will be more like as a background homework kind of thing. And also during extra classes, we will be solving some of those as well. I usually try to come up with my own questions to practice the topics that you covered in the past week. But if there's like something that you're struggling with in the questions section, just let me know and we will solve it together. Okay?
Okay, thank you so much, Asela. It was
Thank you
a
very
great
much.
class and great tips.
Thank you guys. I'm glad
Yeah,
I can.
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for joining. You guys have a great weekend. Get your homework done and make sure that you prepare for Monday classes. Make sure you practice those algorithm questions and do your homework. Okay?
Thank you very much.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Thank you.
See you guys next week.
See you.